Okay, now, story in Call of Duty Black Ops, I'll say it right here. I am very surprised how fantastic this story is. It is really good. I'm surprised because it's a Call of Duty game, and usually Call of Duty games don't have the greatest stories. Yes, even Modern Warfare 1 and 2, I don't even think the story is that great in them. I think they're pretty good, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're great at all, but I think they're serviceable, definitely. But in this, it's a really good story. I mean, it has a lot of twists and turns. It has somewhat of a sci-fi element in the beginning. Later on, you realize what it really is, but it definitely seems like a sci-fi element in the beginning. And really, it just has a whole bunch of likable characters that you follow around. You don't get too much character development because it is a war game, so it's not going to go stop for a minute and talk about some guy's family or something, or how he used to be back in school or something. We don't want to hear that. Come on, it's a war game. And I just thought the story was fantastic. Let me explain real quick what it's about, though. I know people are like, what the hell is it about? I'll talk about it real quick, though. The story follows Mason, who is a war veteran. He's been around. I mean, he's a pretty badass guy. He can kill people real quick and stuff. Let's just say he's badass. And for some reason, it opens up with him strapped to a chair and a guy asking him, what are the numbers? What are the numbers? And he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He knows what he knows what numbers he's talking about. He just doesn't know what the numbers are. Later on, through flashbacks where you get taken back to Vietnam mostly, and other parts of different things where you're fighting the Soviets and you're fighting the Vietnamese and all that. You start piecing together what the numbers are, and really, it's just a whole bunch of flashbacks, sure, but it's really good. I still think it's pieced together really nicely. I thought the story was really good with some likable characters. Let's go on to the sound of this game. Okay, now the sound in Black Ops, just like the story, is fantastic. The sound effects are great, all the guns sound great, the explosions sound great. Every little sound effect here sounds really good. Now let me talk about the meat of the sound, which is the actual voice acting. The voice acting is amazing. You get the likes of Sam Worthington, who plays Mason, the main character. You get Ed Harris. You get Gary Oldman, who is always amazing. You get little bits and pieces here from like Topher Grace, and just voice acting overall is amazing. Really is. And the sound, just like the story, is really, really fantastic. Really, really fantastic, really, really amazing. All those words, all those really good words mixed into one. That's what the sound is, just like the story. So yeah, the sound is fantastic. So let's go on to the graphics. Okay, now the graphics are just absolutely amazing looking. I mean, the character models, the environments, the guns, the effects, they all look fantastic in single player mode. Now, they take a dip when you go into multiplayer for some reason. Maybe it's because, it's more dedicated there and they have to focus on the gameplay there more than the graphics. But overall, I mean, the graphics overall in the overall package, it's amazing. So really, one of the best looking games of this year. I think it's a little bit better than Modern Warfare 2, and just great graphics overall. So let's go on to the gameplay of Call of Duty Black Ops. Okay, now the gameplay in Black Ops. Treyarch, you have made me a fan of Call of Duty once more. And I am very, very happy to say that because I love Call of Duty 1, 2, and 4. And 3 I like. But I'm really happy to say that because Treyarch has made some of the weakest versions of Call of Duty 3 and 5, and this is probably the best one yet. Single player is fantastic. It's really fun. You feel for these characters. The guns are great. The guns feel like they actually work, and they actually feel like they're in your hand, and it's awesome. Let's just say that. The single player is really good. The best in Call of Duty history. I talked about the story before, but I don't need to talk about that anymore. Single player is fantastic. Now, of course, we got the multiplayer in the game, which is the big chunk of the game. The multiplayer in the game is a lot of fun. Thank God for that, because Modern Warfare 2 was a lot of fun in the beginning, but later on it got really, really, really boring because people would just camp, and it just pissed me off a lot. And I just got bored with the gameplay after a while. This is really fun because there's so many things you could do. You can play a whole bunch of different game types where if you unlock a certain level, you can get different types of these types of game modes, like you get hardcore, or you even get a prestige lobby for people that have prestige, which is a certain rank you get. You can also unlock different weapons and weapon upgrades and stuff with these things called COD points, which pretty much are currency in the game. You can buy stuff, like I said before. You get them for doing good in the match. You still get XP, so you level up, but you also get COD points, which is really cool. I think that's a much better idea than just getting this at a certain level. So that's a much better idea. I really like that. Treyarch, you definitely did good with that. Along with the obvious game modes like Team Deathmatch, Objective, and all that, you also get this thing called Wager Match, I think it's called, where you just wager all your COD points against another person or a bunch of other people. I didn't actually play this game mode, so I'm not really familiar with it, but you actually just wager a bunch of points and go after, and if you win, then you get all those points and you can buy stuff. I'm guessing that's what it is. If it's not, then I'm sorry, but whatever. Which is a really cool thing. I mean, come on, that sounds really cool. You also get these things called contracts where you can actually do challenges here and there if you pay COD points. If you pay 100 COD points here, you could kill 100 people with this gun and get 600 COD points. So that's really cool. I really like that. So it adds like a challenge kind of feel, like Halo Reach did with their challenges of the day thing. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to say it copied it, because, I mean, there's probably other games out there that did that before Halo Reach. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I really like that. Let me talk about the Zombies mode just real quick. Now, the Zombies game mode is actually a lot of fun, just like Call of Duty 5's was. And this one, actually, you get to play as a bunch of presidents, which is really cool. You get to play as Richard Nixon, you get to play as JFK, you get to play as Fidel Castro, and I forgot the last guy, but you get to play as him too. I only play one game mode of this, so I can't really talk about it much. I've only played that map where you get to play as those presidents. I didn't play the other one, so yeah. I thought it was a lot of fun, and overall, Black Ops is an amazing package. I highly recommend it if you're thinking, oh, come on, Call of Duty's getting boring now. This is the one that's going to bring it back, because really, the single player is great, the zombie mode is really fun, and the multiplayer is really good. Definitely worth a $60 purchase, and definitely an improvement over Modern Warfare 2. Congrats, Treyarch. I love you. So, there you go. Check the written review on the bottom. I love this game. Goodbye.